Hi travelers, Tara here, Hidden Lotus Tarot, and this is going to be an elemental water sign for the month of May 2017. So this will be for the signs of Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Please keep in mind that this is going to be a short general reading and the messages will not resonate with everyone. I will be working this week starting on the individual extended monthly tarots over on the website. To get to the website, you can simply either go to the About box section and find the link. It's also in the description box below each video, or you can click on the little white eye over in the corner. That'll take you directly over to the website. If you're interested in a reading by phone with me, when you get to the website, there's a menu that says Readings by Phone. Hover your mouse over that. A secondary menu will pop out. At the very top, there's a tab that says Important Information on Booking. Please read that before you submit any payment and the booking form, because it'll tell you everything you need to know about booking a reading by phone with me. If you'd like a personal video reading, a private video reading, there's a separate tab. It also explains everything you need to know. I have website membership options that you can go over and take a look at. And what do you get for the website membership options? Well, you get 2 free birth charts. One you get to create yourself. The other one I create specifically for you. And we use that in predictive astrology. And then there are the individual monthly tarot readings. There are astrology articles, metaphysical articles. There's lots of stuff over on the site. You can go over if you're interested in the website membership options. There are 3 levels. Pick which one works for you. I would love to have you come over and join me. You can also find the links to Facebook and LinkedIn in the About box section if you want to join me there. I've got some new products that I'm going to be bringing to you guys very soon. Going to be posting up. I'm going to be doing horoscopes, but also I've got a new Akashic Records reading coming out as well. Now, that said, thank you guys so much who all emailed me and wished me on my little mini vacay that I took over the weekend. It was really great. I really needed that. We have some transits happening. Mercury has retrograded at 0 degrees Taurus. Taurus is the money sign. It rules your personal possessions, your bank account, your stocks, your bonds. But in the wider context of the world, it rules the stock market. And as you can see, we've got this president who 1 minute he's talking about what friends and allies we have, and the next minute he's threatening to rip up trade agreements. The Milkgate thing that happened in Canada, and then the corn thing that happened in Mexico. And now he's telling the South Koreans, even though we're telling them, yeah, we're going to defend you. We're going to come over there and whip the shit out of Kim Jong-un and the North Korea. But we don't like the trade agreement that we got with you, South Korea, even though we're your allies and we're going to protect you. So we're going to rip that crap up. So everything's in flux right now and nobody knows what's going on. So even if you don't have any stocks and bonds, there is a trickle-down effect. What happens in the world will also affect you personally. It may be major, it may be minor. So this could be about suddenly your company, they're not sure what's going on, so they cut back. We're waiting on tax cuts, tax reforms. We're waiting on the ACA, American Health Care Act, or whatever they're trying to call it now. So there are a lot of things in flux, and these things will be affecting you in some way. We take a look at those things, what could possibly be going on for you with the predictive astrology. And I want you to keep in mind that the predictive astrology can just kind of tell you how to handle the situation, what might crop up, if people step in, or situations, how that may play out for you. But ultimately, you are still responsible for whatever choices you decide to make. Now, I had 2 cards pop out as I was pre-shuffling the cards, and I have the Page of Wands and the 9 of Pentacles. The North Node, the true nodes of the moon are now moving into Leo and Aquarius. The true North Node will be moving into Leo. Leo rules the 5th house. The 5th house is all about lovers, children, self-expression, creativity, hobbies, joy, leadership. We also have Apollo moving into Leo. And Apollo, for those of you who are over on the website with me and we're learning about the asteroid, astrology, Apollo was a leader. He was a Renaissance man. And so this could be about new people stepping. We're also, depending on where your vertex falls, it's going to either fall between the 5th and the 7th house. The vertex is a mathematical, it's called the electrical point in a chart. It's a mathematical point. It's not a planetary body. But typically when the North Node gets ready to move over that, it's known as the Destiny's Gate. And this is really where new people in new situations are stepping in. And it's because it's a North Node, it's a new soul direction for you to take. The South Node's going to be in Aquarius. Aquarius rules friendships, groups, networks, those non-ritual groups, humanitarian organizations. The South Node is things that you've done from a past life, okay? So what you're going to be asked to do is to take your past life gifts and move them towards the North Node. In other words, the more I can step into being who I am and being more creative and being a leader, but doing it in a manner that I can express myself, the better I'm going to be able to help those. You've already helped those groups in the past. That's why it's a damn South Node. You don't want to continue doing that. You really want to work towards doing things for yourself this time. And when you can step into who you are, Leo rules royals, kings, queens, courts, teenagers, children, young adults, people who are going to carry on things. So the more you can do that, the more you're going to be able to help that other side of those groups, okay? This is going to be about past life enemies, but also people who are coming back from past lives in order to pay you back. So it may be situations that come up that kind of maybe freak you out and you are deathly afraid of stepping through. Do not be afraid to step through. This is the way that the universe and source is trying to move you into something new. And it's about stepping outside of your comfort zone and recognizing those past life enemies and knowing when it's time to complete that karmic cycle. And this is a new karmic cycle. We've had all of 2016 were Pisces and Virgo. Virgo is about work and the collective and how do you take care of your body, your doctors, your healing, your diet, and recognizing that in order for you to work more and be more productive, that you have to take care of yourself. It's that mind-body connection. Pisces is all about the collective, sacrificing for large groups of people. And maybe if you've been doing that, you had less time for yourself. But it is also about the way in which you treat people, how people treat you if you work for them, and how you treat other people who work for you. Okay. That's why we've been seeing some new all of these new medications come out and new medical techniques that are coming. And I think it's going to continue to play out. The first card down, they're just jumping out. So there's a lot of changes coming up for some of you water signs. The first card down was the Page of Wands. Then we have the Nine of Pentacles. Now we have the Three of Pentacles. We're going to lay 2 more cards, and then we're going to get started with the reading. I had such a great weekend. I've never laughed. Well, it's not that I've never laughed. It has just been a long time since I laughed like that. So it's really great. So I'm kind of back and fresh, which is hard because Mercury is in retrograde, and I'm a Mercury Sun, Mercury Moon. And so I really struggle with Mercury retrogrades. My thinking is quite foggy. Here is the Three of Cups and the Hermit. Now this is our past, and the energy moves this way. Okay. Underneath the deck, I have the Three of Wands. Wow, 3 threes. Will you look at that? Well, right off the bat, 3 threes could speak to extreme cheating, flirting, excessive cheating, flirting. The Page of Wands. Now, for those of you who don't know much about the tarot, it's broken into 2 groups. We have the major arcana cards, and those are going to be cards like the Sun, the Moon, the Hermit, which we have here, the Star, those cards, and they represent our life and our spiritual lessons. Now, he represents Virgo, and we have the Pip cards, and the Pip cards are our numbered cards. So we have the, and also includes our court cards, which are our pages, knights, kings, and queens. Now, the Page of Wands is, all pages bring news and messages. And he represents, wands represent your ambition and your desires. Most people associate those with work, but in order for you to get up and go to work every day, you got to be motivated. In order to accrue anything, you got to be motivated to get out there and get it. And we see that there's some new kind of direction that's coming. Sometimes a Page of Wands will show up like a new spiritual direction for you. We see something new. Everything else is going on around this. Now, we see this page is faced towards this Three of Pentacles here. This represents the energy of Mars in Capricorn. And the time frame is December 31st through January. I can't even read that. It's usually a 2-week time frame. So do the damn math. 14 days. The Three of Pentacles is about two people coming together to build a third thing. Now, this couple here, that's a monk and a knight, okay? But they're going to this craftsman or this artisan or this expert to get the best advice on how to lay the foundation or to complete the foundation or to finish building this thing. We see that post there with the Three Pentacles at the top. And I think for some of you, you have, in one respect, you're getting that feeling or you're getting that energy and that desire to go out and build something new. Now, because we have Mercury in retrograde, for some of you, well, for a lot of you, depending on, well, not even depending on where Mercury falls in your chart, Mercury rules travel, communications, news. He rules the internet, text messages, trade. He rules a lot of things. And he's in retrograde, so that means that things are slowing down. Things will come to a standstill. They will move a little bit, and then Mercury's also known as a trickster. So he'll make you think, negotiations will be going forward, and then suddenly they come to a complete stop, or they collapse altogether, or somebody changes their mind and they back out of the deal. So this extreme cheating and flirting, whatever the case may be, if this is not about a romantic relationship, then this can be about somebody else who's kind of toying around with, well, I don't know, there's somebody else that I think I might want to go into business with or do something with. I'm not exactly sure. So they're kind of shopping around, and they're not being very set in terms of what it is that they're not being very direct and very concrete in what it is that they're trying to convey or that they're trying to do. Now, we move down into the energy of the Three of Cups. And literally, I think for some of you, maybe you have met that partner and that there is something to celebrate. Sometimes the Three of Cups can be all about a graduation. It could be about maybe you've been studying long and hard, and now you're about to receive your degree, okay? And you're about to move forward into something. So this can be, and I do honestly feel that this is really more so about someone who should celebrate something that they've accomplished. And the reason why I say that is because we have the Venus in Virgo card, the Nine of Pentacles. And this card it typically represents someone who's been able to kind of just put all the bullshit aside and stay focused on whatever it was that they were doing, and whatever achievements and accomplishments that they have made, they really did it on their own. Not to say that there haven't been people there perhaps to help you, but really this is about celebrating something really, even if maybe nobody even really knows about it. This could be something private. As you can see, this person is standing in their garden with the grapes. And what do you know about grapes? Well, it takes a particular type of altitude, air, soil, the right kind of water. Is it too alkaline? Is it too acidic? I mean, it takes a long time to grow them, and they grow. They're ugly when they grow. They're vines. You have to stake them up, plant them up to hold them up, and then eventually the fruit will will ripen, and then you can eat the grapes. You can make jam, you can make preserves, you can make wine. There's lots of things that you can do with it. And this is about somebody who's really been able to kind of keep a handle and a vision focused on where they want to go. And this is letting you know that whatever you've planted, if you stay true to that vision and you stay true to what it is you're trying to do, eventually it is going to bear fruit for you. I think that for some of you, this has been a long, hard slog. And remember I said, this may be really that you've done it by yourself. I do have these 2 3s here. Okay, and that indicates that there have been perhaps people around you who've been very, very supportive, but really you've been alone in this. And while you've been alone in that, you've been able to really get to the essence of what it is that you are wanting for yourself. Now, for others of you, this could be about having been alone for a long, long time. And now you're deciding it's time now for me to join forces with someone in some way, shape, or form. I have 3 cups, 3 coins, 3 cups, and 3 wands here. And this is about picking your options, okay? And in a way, you can look at this like the crossroads kind of a card. Okay, so I've done this. So far, I've got everything in place. Celebrating, people are really helping me, I'm celebrating this. And now I'm going to set my ships to sail. Okay. So what is he doing? Well, he's either sending those ships out or he's watching those ships in a bay. And maybe he's deciding, maybe I'm going to take my 2 wands and I'm going to get on one of those boats and I'm going to sail off and do whatever. But if this is about the businessman who has put his money into something and he's invested his time and energy, he's sending those ships out. How long is it going to take for those ships to get to their destination? We don't know. Well, are they even going to make it? We don't know. I've got to wait for that to come, excuse me, to come back to me, those returns. I've got to wait for those ships to come back. God, will all of them come back? Will the cargo have made it? Will only 2 of the ships come back? Will only 1? Will none of them come back? And so this is really about trying to decide what it is you want to do. And this is really about looking towards the future. Now, I only see 1 cup card here. So I don't really sense that this is about necessarily a romantic relationship. This could be about a business partnership. But this could also be about a business partnership in which maybe it's time for you now to diversify or to bring in someone else, or maybe to seek outside for a new partner, so to speak. And maybe this could be about interviews or what have you. I'm going to pull cards on this because it's kind of a weird energy here. Let me give you the other meaning of the 3 3s. Most definitely, we know it speaks to excessive flirting and cheating, but in terms of love and romance, hold on 1 second. Yeah, this could be about having a lack of commitment, cheating, excessive flirting, and a lack of commitment, these 3 3s. Now, let's look at the other one. And maybe this is why this energy follows the Hermit card. It's because there's really been a lack of commitment. Because the other interpretation of the 3 3s is unexpected good luck. Okay? And I guess it could depend on how you look at it, This tells me that there is something new coming in that is, if you have been struggling, perhaps financially, I do feel that you are going to, something is going to happen for you. Some kind of exciting news is going to come in for you that's really going to allow you to move ahead with your plans. But I also think that you need to research. He's a scholar. He's a learned person. So you need to research as much as you possibly can to make sure that whatever venture it is that you're trying to, it's going to eventually bear fruit. So this is about not making too many quick, false, impulsive moves like this page. That is a fire energy. You know, you're going to have to maintain the practicality of doing whatever it is with your emotions. So don't get too carried away. I also feel that in some respects, because we see now that this person, this Three of Wands, has turned their back on these groups of people, and this could literally be about having to, like I was saying at the beginning, stepping into your own, because you realize now in the direction that you're going, or this message that comes through, that these people, although they've helped you in the past, they can't help you anymore. And so now you're going to have to step into your own and do what you want to do. Let's pull cards on, I want to pull cards first on this page right in the center, because he's our focus. Okay. I also think that there's, you see, Venus loves beauty. But Venus is rather superficial. Likes beautiful things, but then maybe not have the commitment to hang on to those things, flips from one thing to the next, sort of like that bird she's holding on her arm. But you see, she's got the bird, now the bird, it's a falcon, and falcons can see from a bird's eye view. Okay, they can see for miles. They can also, they're predatory birds as well. So this could be about kind of maybe biding your time until the time is right to make that move, and keep everything under wraps. Don't share a lot of what's going on. Keep it all to yourself. Don't tell too many people. Why? Because, well, these, you know, even though these people may have been supportive, they may end up being jealous of you. These are the past life enemies. Your friends that you thought were your friends, you find out suddenly when some good fortune and unexpected luck come, they become jealous. And then they try to thwart you. Well, this is how you know that they're going to be your past life. They're your hidden enemies. But then there's also the hidden enemy of the self. So don't move too quickly. Tame and keep things to yourself, so to speak. This can, remember, we have Jupiter in Libra, and Jupiter brings many opportunities, and it brings many different relationships. So this is really about people coming, new people coming in, and old people leaving. And so it's about having the discernment. But because Libra represents the partnership house, business partnerships, marriages, committed relationships, friendships, familial relationships, then really it also speaks to past, present, potential partners, but also enemies, rivals, and foes. Okay, and this is the end of the Virgo Pisces cycle of the North Node. We're moving into Leo. Now, here, this represents Mercury in Cancer, and I think for some of you, Cancer represents not only mothers, but it represents the past, where you come from, your heritage, your lineage, your home life. What does it take for you to feel nurtured? How do you nurture other people? And perhaps some of you are getting the message that really those groups of people that you've been hanging out with, or those old relationships, no longer nurture you. So you're being tasked to get your crap together and get ready to move. And I do think that for some of you, this could be about moving. We go from a mountaintop down to flat land here. Maybe even by water, around water, near water. And the reason why I say there might be a move, here is the snail. So this could be a slow withdrawing process of you getting to where you want to go. But the card says to maintain your focus, and you can get there however that means for you. This also, the Hermit, I think, represents a moment of freeze, pause. You know, for a water reading, there's a lot of earth here. This is the only water sign. This is Virgo. This is Virgo. That's Capricorn. We have Cancer. We have fire. And then we have another fire, the Sun in Aries. And for many of you, March 21st through April 10th, I dare say that for some of you, you're already contemplating moving on. Now, we also have Uranus is going into the last degrees of Aries. Aries rules your reputation, your image, your physical appearance. It rules how you want to appear to other people and how other people view you. So for some of you, this has been a real upheaval. Maybe you've been wanting to change the way you look. Maybe you've been working out. Maybe you're attracting people, but it's the wrong kind of people. Why? Because you're kind of putting out things out there that aren't really who you really are. Since the first house represents and typically will represent the ascendant, so to speak, then that's the mask that you wear. Okay, it's not really who you are. It's the way you behave or the way you dress or fix your hair or, you know, and the first house is opposite the seventh house. So that is how opposite, you know, they say opposites attract. So it could be that the way you've been presenting yourself has been drawing in the wrong type of partnerships, or it's been drawing in those partnerships that have been A-okay. Well, now that's about to change. And it's not necessarily about changing the outside, because really, does the outside matter as much as the inside? But just know that that seventh house of Libra is past, present, potential partners, okay? But it also represents enemies, rivals, and foes. Now, with Uranus transiting, moving into the last signs, the last degrees of Aries, it will be moving into the sign of Taurus. This is the money house. So this is either going to be some type of upheaval in where you live, flatmates, roommates, mortgages that you own yourself, okay? Rental properties, any kind of your movable possessions that you own, your bank accounts, 401ks, your retirements. And when Uranus moves in, this is a major upheaval, okay? So this could be about, with this Venus in Virgo, stay true to what you know your values are, because that's what Taurus rules. And Venus rules both Libra and Taurus. Stay true to what your values are and know what your self-worth is. And if you can do that through these changes that are coming up, it's going to bear fruit for you. Some relationships that are going to be coming in will be good and some will not. But if you stay true to what your values are and what your vision is, it will bear fruit for you. That's what Jupiter does. He's the king of gods. Okay, so when life does its worst, Jupiter comes in to offer you a solution. Okay, and he also, when things are good, Jupiter's there to help make them better. But you don't want to be excessive in it. Jupiter can make you go over the top. That's that Venus and Virgo thing. I love the finer things in life, and you end up, you know, spending way more money and investing your time in relationships that really are just surface things. Okay. There's no depth. Remember, lack of commitment. So consider that. Now, we're going to take a look at this Page of Wands. A gift, not unselfish. So maybe somebody has sent you a message that helped you out a lot, okay? Or maybe they've done something for you that they've helped you out a lot, and they did it because This is attraction to a married woman or respect for a married woman, but it can also just be somebody who's in a nurturing capacity. They did it. Remember, we're talking about Cancer, and they did it really from an unselfish place. But here we have the militare, okay? And this is the relationship with the law enforcement. So this can be either an indication that maybe somebody feels caught out, or maybe they feel that the person's motives were suspect, so they try to move away from the situation. Okay, they're moving into perhaps another relationship that is coming in. But again, the warning, you know, it's kind of like that all that glitters isn't gold. The next shiny new thing that comes through, you know them people. They're like damn ferrets. Anything that's shiny and new, they want it. And that's that Aries energy. You know, don't give them nothing old and used. And they want something brand spanking. They got the brand new spanking new smell on it. Okay. That's what that sounds like. Something I think is going to be delayed. Now look, there's a second instance to me of a 3 of cups. So this is about happiness of the heart. So this could be, hey, you know, I find somebody, or there's a new project comes in, makes me very, very happy. But for some reason, we're limited by that. There's some reason why we can't move into it. And I dare say that it's going to be stuck for a while. Costanza. The Costanza is the, what's that? One of those virtues, patience. But it also speaks to the immutability. It's something you can't change right now. And, you know, perhaps there's a reason for that. If you're being thwarted in some way, there's a reason why. Because not everything that is good for us. We may get some enjoyment out of it for a bit, but it's going to hit a brick wall. And you're going to have to go in another direction. So I think this is really asking you to curb your overindulgences or your tendency to kind of just jump in head first, feet first, without really giving it and weighing some thought. Maybe you've been alone by yourself for a long time, and now this is, you know, well, I really want to be with somebody. Well, Venus in Virgo is asking you to look at the value or the reason why you want to be with that person. It may not be what you think it is. I want to look at this 3 of Cups card. Then we're going to pull an Angel Answer card and a Heart Oracle Tarot. Actually, I don't want to look at that. I want to look at the Hermit. Dileranti. L'amante, female. And pleasant conversations. Remember, I was saying that message, and I think somebody may have sent a message or will be sending a message to you. Maybe it's something they're doing it because they care about you. There is no ulterior motive. I think now that I'm looking at the conversation, the Militare and the Costanza, I think that they're saying to you, here's the information, or here, I wanted to bring this to your attention, but they're going to allow you to do whatever it is you need to do. They're not going to interfere. That's what I'm getting. I also think that if this has been about not having spoken to someone for a while, I think that you missed that conversation with that person. You feel isolated, maybe like nobody understands you, and maybe this person really does understand you. Maybe you don't like talking to them, but they, maybe because they bring up stuff for you. Yeah. You know, and take a look at that. Take a look at that. All right, let's pull one angel answer card, and then we're going to pull one heart oracle tarot, and I will, oh, there it is. Well, look at there. The opportunity card. And there it is. You're standing on the precipice. Now, one heart oracle card. Oh. Well, what do you know? Remember I was talking about Apollo, the leader? Well, there he is. There's the lead card. The Emperor. Let's read about the opportunity first. And it's, you know, putting these two cards together, it's literally saying the opportunity to lead. Okay, that's really what it's saying. But in order for you to be a leader, you have to step into that role. And maybe someone has already said to you, you know, why do, you know, you're doing all of these things for other people. What have you been doing for yourself? What would you really like to do? You know, and then why don't you? Well, it could be because you don't have anybody to support you, or you have people who are like yesing you, but really they're not there to back you. Remember, lack of commitment with the 3 3s. So, you know, people just kind of, yeah, you know, sure, whatever. And then when the time comes and you need some help, they're nowhere to be found. 59. Let's read the opportunity card. It says positive growth and expansion is on the horizon for you. This opportunity may bring with it inspiration and insight. That's leadership ability. This can be like, wow, you know, this is what I've always wanted to do. Or it could be the chance you've been waiting for to take action on ideas you already have. You may be seeking to manifest the chance to create changes in your career, buy or sell a home, or bring romance into your life. Whatever your desires, your angels are about to open a door of possibilities for you. Step right through. Remember, I was just telling you that. Now, let's take a look at the lead card. He's the Emperor. The key words are guide, prioritize, act, structure, effort, and reason. That's all of these 3s right here. In matters of the heart, the energy of this card can both help and hinder. Examine the role that you play in your relationships. Do you take the lead and guide the direction of the relationship, or do you follow the other person? If you lead, are you forcing your will on the other person? If you follow, are your own needs being met? A solid relationship involves give and take, lead and follow. There has to be an even exchange of energy, and this is true for all relationships. This card reminds you to guide, not dominate. This card focuses on the intellectual rather than the emotional side of relationships. How is the relationship serving those involved? If a relationship is to be healthy and strong, everyone's needs must be met. There has to be sufficient structure and order so that each person knows the boundaries. Each person must make the relationship a priority and put effort into making it strong. And finally, the decisions made in and about the relationship must be based on sound reasoning rather than pure ego. If you're looking for a romantic relationship, or you are actively searching, or are you hoping, if you're looking for a romantic relationship, are you actively searching, or are you hoping someone will simply show up in your life? This is a card of action, of being proactive, not reactive. Take the lead, network, and make yourself available. The affirmation is, I ensure that my relationships are healthy and that each person's needs are met. And that includes your own. Okay? So that's what I have for you, water signs. I hope that this message helps you. And until next time, namaste.